All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to tonight's edition of SWAC Talk. Of course, we are live, getting ready for the SWAC Championship game. I'm your tour guide around the SWAC Seawells coming at you. It took me a little while to get going because I had to try to get myself all together. But I'm here now. I'm ready. I hope y'all ready. Salute the Jackson State women's basketball getting another SWAC championship under their belt. Looking forward to see what seed they pick up. Hopefully, they can squeeze in somewhere at a 13 seed or something, at a 13 or 14. That would be really great. So we're gonna definitely be rocking with the selection show when that happens, to see what's going on now. And of course tonight, Texas Southern and Grambling. I've been saying it all day. Grambling +2. Do with that as you will. I think that you really can't beat Grambling as an underdog in this game. So I'm definitely all over that one. TSU going for a four-peat, and we'll see what happens. So we're gonna just kind of go with the flow tonight, man. I'm gonna try to stay in this as long as I can, and we're just gonna chop it up and talk about the game as it goes on, and we'll just go from there. So how y'all doing out there? First and foremost, it's been a pretty great SWAC championship. I can't complain with the way this tournament has been going. Just been a really fun tournament outside of my team getting eliminated early. But other than that, I can't really ask for that much more. Salute to Alabama A&M. Bulldogs had a really, really good run in the tournament. They had a great run. Came up just short. Grambling is doing what they do. TSU doing what they do. And we got the game that I thought was going to happen, the game that most people thought was going to happen. So rematch from last year. Tigers beat the Tigers last year. We'll see if the Tigers could win this year. And we'll just, I think it's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it. And we're going to be getting things going here. Trying something a little different tonight. So I hope y'all can bear with me. Try to do this more often. And just go from now. So, how y'all doing out there, man? What y'all think about the tournament so far? I see we got a few people in. Let me know how y'all think the tournament is going right now. I think it's going pretty good. Like I said, I like the action that's taking place. I like to see the teams going at it, man. Other than Reggie Theus complaining about the schedule, which you already know what it is. I don't think is that big of an issue to do that. So trying to get all my technology right, but been great and looking forward to it. And hopefully they got a good turnout tonight at the game. I would have loved to seen the crowd if they had one of the Bama teams in it, but let's hopefully these two teams turn out. Two of the teams who most people thought would beat up, and they ended up being there. And I love the way both of these teams play. One thing I am concerned about is the health of the TSU guards. PJ Henry went down with an injury. Mortal, I think he hadn't been playing, so it's gonna be a lot on Jonathan Cece. That guy is the SWAC tournament leading scorer right now. He averages 21 points a game in the tournament. So I want to see if he can get his going. I think he's gonna have to be the X factor for the TSU offense. For Grambling, you got Dozier and Moulton. Both of them can easily take over a game. Jordan Smith's another guy who can make some things happen. And I'm just looking forward to this game. So game just tipped off. I'm trying to get the game tracker up, but my StreamYard is acting crazy. So I'm gonna work with it and see if I can get things going. What's good, Big Soldier, man? What's going on with y'all there, man? Thank you for tuning in and getting down with us as we make our way through the SWAC tournament. So game is underway right now. It just tipped off. What's going on, Los J? What's going on? Yeah, man, everything seemed to be kind of off right now. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's gonna be a great one, man. Really, these are probably the two best teams in the conference. You got one team who is working on making their first ever NCAA tournament. You got the other team who has dominated the tournament. So you can't get much better than that. And I'm like I said, I think two good coaches, two great coaches, really, going at it. A lot of great guys on both sides, and that's that. So let's see. I think I might got my stuff set up right. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. Uh, all right, y'all just kind of bear with me for a second, man. I'm trying to get this thing working right. All right, I think I got it, but let's see if I can bring this up. Oh man, this is not doing what I wanted to do. Y'all bear with me for 1 second, man. I'm trying to make this thing work because wanted to bring y'all a little something. But right now, TSU is trailing Grambling 6-5. 17 minutes, 13 seconds left in the first half. Um, PJ Henry, obviously he's out there. He has 3 points right now to lead TSU. Aku leads Grambling with 3 points. Um, Looking really, like I said, looking to see if Dozier and Moden could get going. If they can get going, that's definitely going to help Grambling out a lot. Those two guys are a great 1-2 punch. Either one of them can carry this offense for Grambling, and I just love the way both of those guards play. I think they are one of the better teams in the conference. You don't see a lot of bad IQ plays. They tend to make everything happen. Smart, they play smart ball. TSU, they have a great system. Um, I think it depends. I think if TSU gets in, then I'm pretty sure they will be. I think if Grambling wins, I think their record overall is decent enough, and there's been a lot of upsets in some of the other tournaments. But Grambling, the one thing that Grambling doesn't have this season is they don't have a strong non-conference win. So not having that definitely puts them in a position to where they may still get that play-in spot. But my money right now is going on them getting just a straight 16. Although I personally don't mind the first four because that's a tournament win now. It used to not be that way, but it's a tournament win. So you get that money. So if you want to get that payday for winning a tournament game, then you win that first full game. And I think that's what I expect from them. I think if Grambling gets in, they should have a good shot at beating some of these teams. So I I think they'll be just fine there. Grambling continues to lead, 11-9. Deion Stroud, who had a really solid game yesterday, he's on the board now. Jordan Smith also hit a 3-pointer a few seconds ago. So they're going kind of at it right now. Right now, the leading scorer for Grambling is Jordan Smith. He has 6 points, 2 for 2 from the field. Stroud, 6 points, 2 for 2 from the field. Waiting to see CC get going, man. That guy has a game that I love, man. He one of those guys who can just find a way to get inside and make some things happen. Got a real old school type game to him. He just, he can do a lot of nice handling, a lot of up and under type moves, spin moves, crossovers, everything in the paint. 24 points against Jackson State, 18 against 18 against Alabama A&M. So really good game for him. And just hoping to see him get started. Stroud with another bucket, giving him 8 points on the night. Kenny Hunter is a guy who he had foul trouble yesterday, but that's a guy who they're gonna need to depend on inside. Him and Carter, those guys are gonna have to really work hard against Aku. Burnett's a guy who's been pretty solid also. So you want to kind of have both of those guys getting in the mix. Jordan Smith with another 3-pointer. Really, hey, when that guy's scoring, then I think you're in really good shape. Because he's a guy who can be an X factor in a game like this. Sorry about that, y'all. Kind of dropped out right there, but I'm back. CC hits a jumper, 15-16 is our score right now. Really back and forth game right now. Just that's exactly what you want. You want these two teams to be neck and neck. You want this to be like a heavyweight fight. I think both teams, they both kind of mirror a little bit. And right now you're getting what you asked for. You're getting a nice little back and forth. What's going on, Doc, man? What's happening with you? Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. Salute to your Tigers out there, man, picking up that championship. I know it wasn't no surprise to nobody, but definitely 18-0 regular season. Ran through the tournament. That's the dominant run you want from a champ, and that's the kind of run I love to see. So salute to JSU women again, picking up a big victory, and hopefully they get a good seed, man. Since we got folks in here, where y'all think JSU gonna be seeded in the women's tournament? I would love to see them not be a 16, maybe even a 14. You think they can get to a 14? I would love to see them make it there. They're gonna be a problem for whoever they play. Coach Reed, that's a dominant program. Yeah, I feel like the same 13, 14. I think that's a pretty solid number. Anything less than that, I think is a robbery. Honestly, I think that they're gonna make some noise once they get in. So that's where I feel comfortable at. Grambling right now up 19-15. Burnett just hit a 3-pointer. Grambling's shooting pretty well from outside right now. Shooting 80% from three. I know that's not sustainable, but 80% 18% from three. You can't beat that. 70% from the field right now. TSU 60% from the field, 25 from three. Both teams have a turnover. TSU has 2. Grambling has 1. Rebounds, TSU leads that right now 4-3. And I'm still loving that Grambling +2, y'all. I think, I don't know how many of y'all out there, put a little money on some games, but I'm liking that Grambling +2 right now. I'm still, I know a lot of people, really love TSU, but I'm honestly surprised Grambling's an underdog in this game. So I'm really loving that Grambling +2, and I'm gonna ride that bus till the wheels fall off. All right, so what y'all thinking of the game so far? Like I said, I'm kind of doing more of a game tracker than watching it. But what y'all think about the game so far? How y'all liking the action? How y'all liking the Florida game? Y'all think it's being called pretty cleanly? I think the referees been a little bit lax with their whistles in the games this tournament. I think they really letting guys play. I think they're really allowing a lot of contact in these games. Almost borderline football in a few of these games. I think some of these games have been overly physical. But it's tournament time, and you got to kind of put your big boy pants on if you're gonna be out there. So I think that they have done a decent job with these games, but I also kind of think that they've let a few things go a little bit more than they should. All right. Groundland's starting to pull away, 22-15. They getting a lot of production from some of the other guys, and I think that's definitely a good thing when your top guys aren't really hitting right now, and you're getting that input from other guys. I think that's really great. Right now, Moden and Dozier combining right now for 2 points. UNC down in NC State. I'm kind of keeping my eyes on that game as well. I think a lot of these games, some of these smaller tournaments, gonna shake up, could really help our teams in getting in the tournament. Howard getting in as a 4 seed out of the MEAC, that helps a lot. That's definitely one team that's gonna be locked into one of those play-in spots. Stetson probably gonna be another one of those teams. They won the ASUN. So they may be one of those teams to kind of get in and take one of them play-in spots. So if you're not a person who into the play-in game, you want to see a lot of them low-seeded one bid teams get in, and that can definitely help you. And it still helps for Grambling to get in, because right now Grambling is 19-15, 19-14. They'll be 20-14 if they win. TSU will be 17-15 if they win. So both teams will go in with winning records. That's great. I think this season we've had a pretty solid non-conference from the SWAC. Not as great as you would love to see, but you can't really complain too much about these teams picking up some wins in the non-conference. So hopefully we could continue to get some more of those and get a nice seed and avoid that play-in game if that's what I know a lot of people are not really into it. like I said a little bit ago, I like it. Let me not say I like it. I deal with it because I think that getting that win in the NCAA tournament and getting that payday for an NCAA tournament win is definitely a better thing than being thrown against the top 1 seed team in the tournament. So being able to pick up a win and maybe one of these days we can ride out like Fairleigh Dickinson. I mean, nobody thought they could beat Purdue, but I think we have to start playing. Some of our teams have to start playing a better style of ball, maybe being a little bit more free flowing and open with their games, and going from there. All right. Stroud knocks down a free throw, gets TSU back on the board, 22-16. Right now, I think it's a pretty decent game. These two matchups between these two teams this season were very, very close. I think it was like a 1 point margin for Grambling, 2 for TSU, I believe. So these two teams match up very well. They know each other well, and this is a matchup I love right now. Stroud and Smith lead all scorers with 9 points. Moten already 6 assists. He is distributing very well. Jalen Johnson, who's a guy who I remember him from Alabama A&M a couple years ago, transferred out, and now he's back in the SWAC at Grambling. He gets him a bucket. Dozier gets the assist on that one. But like I said, 6 assists in less than 10 minutes for Moten. He is really distributing that ball well, and I love to see a guy that can really dish it out like that. And right now the team is playing well without their top guys going. So I think at some point your top guys are gonna have to take over. You're gonna need Henry to get going. You're gonna need CC to get going if you're TSU, and you're gonna need Dozier and Moten down the stretch. So somebody's gonna make that big play to really get things going for both teams. But right now I think they kind of still filling each other out a little bit. And as we've seen in a few games, just because you have a big lead early doesn't mean a lot. Teams have been chipping away at leads all tournaments. So Grambling having the lead right now doesn't really seal anything up. TSU definitely is more than capable of getting themselves back in this game. So as long as they keep themselves in striking distance, that run will be the. Because basketball, like the cliche goes, basketball is a game of runs, and TSU is gonna have that run in them at some point. Kenny Hunter, another bucket. Like I said, getting a guy like that to work inside is gonna help. Jordan Smith is hot right now. 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 or 3 from 3. When that guy is scoring like that, I think that puts Grambling offense at an extra dimension. He's a slasher and he can definitely jump out the gym, but his jump shot is there today. Excuse me. And if you're Grambling, you really like to see that. If you take Southern, not so much. You don't really want to see guys like that get hot. That's going to set the tone for everybody else. But if y'all had to pick an MVP of the men's tournament right now, who do you think it would be? Who did you see as the top player in the women's tournament? How did y'all feel about the SWAC honors? Did you like the player of the year on both sides, freshman of the year? Any of that? I like I said, I love Ken Evans. I think he is probably the best guy in the league. He can do it all. I I like Grizzle from FAMU, but I still think that Zay Green should have won it. Grizzle's a great scorer. She's a great shooter. How much does team success carry over into a Player of the Year award? I think that's probably the biggest thing back and forth. Other than that, I don't have any issue with her winning. Avent, man, if you TSU and you know that was your top player and now she's at JSU, man, I know that that's one of those portal things that kind of knocks you out. But Avent is a serious baller for JSU, and I think I think she's doing great there. Grambling up by 10 now, stretching that lead out. Munford gets him a bucket. Aku got the dime on that one. So Grambling is really they're really spreading the ball around. Everybody's being really really giving with the ball, man. They're sharing the ball right now, and it's working out well for them. Right now, Grambling is sitting on 9 assists in the first 12 minutes of the game. Right now TSU has 3. So the difference in this game right now is Grambling is knocking down threes. They're shooting 83% from the 3-point line. TSU is only shooting 20. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field. Both teams are 50% from the free throw line. So right now that 3-point line is the difference. Yeah, I was honestly surprised that she didn't win it. I mean, she's one of the top she's a top scorer in the league, one of the top rebounders. She's one of the top assist players. She's great on steals. She does everything that you want from a player. I was honestly surprised that she didn't win it. Like I said, a lot of people love points, and that's no disrespect to Grizzle. I've seen her play. She can shoot the rock. She can score. But I think when you have a player who is all over the stat sheet, to me that really outweighs a lot. So I don't want to make it an issue like football season how we were so dismissive of some of the players that won those awards. But I think that a player like that should definitely get recognized. But Zay Green coming back next season, so I think that is an opportunity for her to try to get Pine Bluff over the hump and get a SWAC Player of the Year before she leaves. So getting a top player like that to come back, I think, is one of those really great things. That's what you want. At the 8-minute 11 mark, we're not quite at the 8-minute media timeout. Stroud leads TSU with 9 points. He's 3 for 3 from the field, 3 for 4 from the line. Like I said earlier, Jordan Smith 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field, and 4 or 5 from the field, and 3 for 3 from 3. Just really knocking down buckets outside. Aku right now he has 1 rebound to lead the team. Stroud has 1 rebound to lead the team. Henry 1 assist, and Moten 6 assists. Yeah, I mean, you the defensive player of the year. You should really make some team. I still think, I know everybody talks about Valley a lot, but I still think Raekwon Brown should have got some recognition. The guy is, you can say he plays for a losing team. He probably the only option they have, but the guy can go for 35, and he doesn't really shoot a lot. And I think he does a great job, in a situation like that. So I would have loved to seen him get some recognition. But defensive player of the year should automatically make first or second team. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. We're back to action. Burnett misses a 3. TSU gets the rebound, and we'll see what the Tigers do. Carter misses a 3. TSU gets the offensive board, and we'll see. I'm like I said, I'm liking the way Grambling is looking. I think TSU is going to find their rhythm at some point in this first half. I think they're going to make their run and get themselves back in this. But I'm gonna keep saying that along the game going, man. I'm loving that Grambling +2. I got a little bit on that, so hopefully I can come out on top, man. Y'all know what I'm saying. But if you TSU, I think you really have to get your guys going. I don't know how long you're gonna be able to stay in this game if your top guys aren't getting you the points right now. So you're gonna have to get some buckets from somebody. Aku with a block inside, and Grambling gets the ball. You're gonna have to at some point. You're gonna have to have somebody score, man. You know, I think you're sitting on a little bit of a drought. Um, so you don't want to you don't want to not be able to score. The longer that you are sitting on 18, the rougher it's gonna be for you. So you got to find some kind of way to get things going. I know, and that's one of the things about a tournament. You know, you spend a lot of energy in the first couple of games. You kind of have to find a way to dig deep and make more effort to get those shots to fall. But TSU, they haven't scored. Their last let's see. Their last bucket came with 9:37 left in the first half, so they're working on 3 minutes of scoreless basketball. That's dangerous. Grambling scores again. They're up by 12, so you have to get off this drought right now if you TSU. Free throws or something, you have to get on the board. A game like any game, a scoreless streak is gonna hurt, but a game like this, you cannot afford to go 3 minutes without scoring. That's just gonna be a tough situation for you. So you have to find a way to score. Free throw. There you go. Like I said, you gotta get on the board somewhere. You gotta stop the bleeding. You have to keep this thing within reach. I think if you can get it to 5 or so, I think you're in good shape. Anything more than 5, I think you're gonna kind of find yourself pushing. But I think TSU has the weapons to get back in this game. They are not out of this game by any means. I think they're a team who can score. They can score. They're not gonna. Neither one of these teams are teams that are just gonna run up and down the floor. But I think that if either one of these teams can kind of get that run going and get on a run, then it's very helpful. So TSU gets one free throw. Grambling comes down, gets a 3-pointer from Dozier. Just like that, you're down. Your lead is bigger. So you got to make your free throws. As a Southern fan, I know missing free throws is a killer. You cannot miss free throws, especially when you're trying to make a run. You're trying to get back in this thing. You really have to find a way to score. And them free buckets, they there for a reason. So you gotta take advantage of them. TSU gets a couple buckets here. Stroud gets another 3, so he's back on the board. He has 12 points on the night. TSU down by 11. So I think like I said, at some point you have to make that push, and at some point you're gonna need your guys to keep you in this game. So NC State building a lead. They up by 8. I think NC State might pull out this auto bid out the ACC. Carolina, they're gonna be okay, but I don't think that's gonna impact any of our teams. But a team like NC State getting a higher seed is good. Definitely gonna steal a bid from somebody, and that bubble is gonna definitely push some teams away. My biggest gripe with this postseason is the fact that they decided to take away the auto bid from the champion winners into the NIT. I thought that was a great opportunity for teams if you fell short in a conference tournament. Now it's back to what it used to be. You basically have to get in and hope that you got a good enough resume to get you in the NIT. I know nobody goes into a tournament thinking NIT first, but I think that you want to try to get some things going. TSU gets the lead down to 9 off of a bucket by Waysinger. 33-24. They trail right now with 3:58 left in the first. Still within reach. Like I said, if you can get this thing down to 5, I think you're in pretty good shape. Take a quick look at the game stats right now while we kind of making our way through this game right now. Like I said, Stroud leads TSU with 12 points. He's 4 for 4 from the field, 3 or 4 from the line. Smith leads Grambling with 11 points. He's 4 or 5 from the field. Had a few big threes early. Right now, TSU shooting 47% from the field. Grambling 61. TSU shooting 28% from the 3-point line. Grambling shooting 75%. They're still hot from 3. Both teams 4 turnovers for TSU, 3 for Grambling. 9 rebounds for TSU, 10 for Grambling. Both these teams are pretty solid rebounded teams as well. 4 assists for TSU, 10 for Grambling. Both teams 3 steals, 1 block for Grambling, 2 for TSU. Statistically, most of the stats are even. Points in the paint, Grambling is doubling up TSU. Well, more than doubling up, 14-6. Right now, both teams. Grambling has 6 fouls. TSU has 3, so fouls aren't really an issue yet. Nobody's in the bonus. Fast break points 4-2. TSU leads that. Both teams 4 points off of turnovers. 4 offensive rebounds for TSU, 5 defensive rebounds for them. Grambling 2 offensive rebounds and 8 defensive rebounds. So pretty even game on the boards right now. And all in all, even though the score is where it's at, it's still a pretty even matchup. There's the biggest difference in this game right now is Grambling 6 or 8 from 3 and TSU at 2 or 7. I mean, shooting 47% from the field is not bad at all. So I don't think that's an issue. Both teams shooting 50% from the free throw line. So, they're both leaving points on the board at the free throw line. But I think that Grambling 3-point shooting early has been a difference. And they're doing it with not a lot of input from Dozier and Moden on the scoreboard. Like I said, Moden with six assists is just like him scoring a couple buckets. So, him getting the ball to guys and they're scoring, then that definitely makes your team look that much better. I like to see a guy that can distribute the ball and make his guys better around him. To me, that's the good mark. That's a good mark of a great point guard. Being able to distribute the ball, being able to get it in, get it into you guys, and they have to make the shots too. But that's what they're doing. That's why you get the ball to these guys in the right spot, and where they want the ball, and you put it on them, and you make them, you get them opportunities to help out on the offense. So all in all, what you guys think about how the tournament's been going so far? What you think about the ESPN production this year? I'm not really high on the announcing crew, but I think the overall production has been pretty solid. I would love to see the attendance be better, but that's an issue for any other time. Just really not really that great on that, but Jordan Smith knocks down a free throw. Grambling leads 34-22. And right now it's looking good for Grambling. 35-22 they lead. 3:33 left in the first half. Really solid first half for Grambling right now. I would give them an A+ right now. I don't think they've done much wrong in this game. and TSU got to get going. They have to get going. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it over and over. I think a 5-point lead at the half is very manageable. I don't think you want to go into the half down double digits. Not that the game will be over if that happens, but I just think that going in down at least 5 or 6 points, I think would definitely look good for your team and for your confidence. It's not looking good right now. But like I said, if y'all remember the women's game the other night, A&M was down 23, and they were able to get back in it. So there's been a lot of teams in the SWAC tournament this year that have come back from double digits. So I think that all in all, it's not over, but you have to get going. I mean, right now, Jordan Smith is killing you. You have to find a way to stop this guy. I know when you look at your scouting report, he's not the man. He's not the guy that jumps out at you, but he's sitting on 15 points in the first half. Very efficient, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 or 3 from the line. He's cleaning up right now. Right now, I think right now he's the guy. He's driving the car for Grambling. 16 points now, and he's almost outscoring TSU by himself. So you have when you get into the half, if you can get into the half without going down too much further, you have to recognize where that guy is. You have to get him going. I mean, they have to find something, man. CC needs to hit some shots, man. I think he's a guy that's gonna have to get a spark going. They're just not really getting it right now from anybody other than Stroud. Whether it's Carter shooting outside or something, somebody from TSU has to start making some things happen because right now it's not looking good for them. And if you're into win probabilities and all of that, and it's very early, but right now Grambling has a 91% chance of winning this game. When you look at win probabilities, but like I said, it's very early right now. That can change in a heartbeat. A couple of buckets here and there, you could find yourself back in this game. But Grambling working on the opportunity to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time. That would be great. TSU working on a 4-peat. So either way, somebody's gonna make history in this game. But right now, it looks like Grambling. Right now, it's looking like Grambling. I think some people undersold Grambling coming into this tournament. I don't know how. When you're the number 1 team, I don't know how people, kind of overlook you. But I don't think a lot of people really gave Grambling the respect that they deserve. I know everybody loves TSU and the fact that TSU dominates the tournament, but you still have to give the number 1 team some love. And other than basically letting the game get away against Bama State at the end of the season, this Grambling team has played well all year. All right, both teams missing shots now. Gotta kind of this last minute and a half for TSU is vital. You have to go on some kind of mini run. Grambling cooling off from 3, they're 60% now. Obviously you're not gonna shoot 75% the whole game, but that was a great boost for them. Right now, TSU takes the lead in the rebounding battle 13-11. They still have 6 turnovers though, so that is really hurting them right now. Grambling, TSU gets on the board. They're trailing 38-24 now. Have to close out strong. Even if you get a stop and a bucket at the end right before half, you have to close out strong. You need some confidence. But Burnett knocks down a jumper. If a guy like that gets going, then that makes it even tougher for you. You know, he's like on the starting unit, he's like the fourth option. And you know, if he gets going, which he can score, you know, he's turning a couple double doubles this season. If he can get going, then it's gonna be tough. And the one thing I love about Grambling in this game is they're doing this with 5 points between Doja and Moden. Those two guys have combined for a good bulk of Grambling's points this tournament. Moden's averaging 20 points a game in this tournament. So being able to lead this game by 17 points with 5 points between your two leading scorers, if you Grambling, then you have to feel very good going into the half. You're up 17. I don't know how TSU comes out and attacks, but somebody's gonna have to step up, and somebody's gonna have to take the load. I mean, your top two guys are combined 2 for 7. That's not gonna win you any games, especially not against a team like Grambling. Somebody's gonna have to make it happen. You know, whether it's a bench guy or somebody just has to put the team on their back and carry them the distance. But right now, we got a 17-point lead at the half. Not what I expected. I'll be honest with you. I did not think that this game would be a double-digit game at any point of the game. Going into the half with Grambling up 17, I don't, you know, I think that, you know, I don't ever want to write a team off at the half, but Grambling's not necessarily one of those teams that's going to blow a lot of leads. They play pretty smart when they get a lead. So you're going to have to hope that this game gets a little helter-skelter in the second half. Maybe, you know, you can kind of, you know, catch them coming out a little lax. But right now it's not looking good if you TSU. So if you're a TSU fan, man, you need to send some good vibes to the team in the locker room, man, and see if they can come out on the other side looking a lot better. But right now it's not looking great. Not what I expected at all. I like I said, I'll be very honest. Did not expect this game to be going like it is. But I love to see guys step up who normally don't step up. And Jordan Smith right now is that guy. He's playing his best game of the tournament. He's only averaging 9 points a game. So he's almost doubled his point per game average. So he's definitely making some things happen. And if you're Grambling, that's what you want to see. You want to see guys step up, and that's the difference right now. Right now, Grambling's getting the points from somebody, and you know, eventually their guys are going to get going. You gotta kind of think that nobody's gonna be cold that long. But right now, Smith's season high is 21. That came against Champion Baptist, but against D1 opponents, his season high is 19. He scored that against Alcorn in February, so he's knocking on a season high in points. So he's playing kind of out of his mind right now. And I like that. I like to see a guy kind of come out and do some things that he doesn't typically do. He had 18 against Bama State, so he's been on a little tear at the end of the regular season. He had 18 against Southern, 17 against Bethune, 13 against Family, 18 against 13 against Alabama A&M. I got this all backwards. Yeah, 18 against FAMU, 17 against Bethune-Cookman, 13 against Alabama A&M, and 18 against Bama State. He's only scored 17 points in the tournament combined, so he's definitely on a tear. And you like to see that. You like to see a guy that steps up. And as a senior, that's what you want. You want your seniors to step up. You want your seniors to take lead. Moden's doing it with his passing. Smith's scoring the ball. And Grambling is looking good right now. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I've been saying, if you read any of my articles or if you listen to my previews and my scheduling standing breakdowns, Grambling's the number one team. Even when Grambling had fell behind Southern early in the season, I never was concerned about about them. You know, the coaching staff is great. You know, this is a veteran team. A lot of these guys have been through this already. They know what it takes, and that's what you want from a team. You want a team that's gonna buy into what the coaches want and what the coaches do. And if you remember, a few years ago, Grambling basketball was not good, but they've been on a super upswing, and now they're knocking on the door of their first NCAA tournament appearance. And I think they can make some noise when they get there. So right now it's looking really good for them. TSU again, not out of it, but this is one of those teams that you kind of don't want to fall behind. Grambling's not gonna just give it up. You know, they're not gonna just start to run and gun now. They're gonna try to stick this thing out and seal it. So gotta find a way to make some things happen if you TSU. I don't know if you Coach Jones. I don't know what you say to the team in the locker room, but whatever it is, you kind of gotta get it going right away. I think you need to come out and, you know, push the issue a little bit. You have to start this half on a run, whether it's 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. You have to find a way to chop off some of this early. You know, like I said, there is no 17-point bucket, and you can't get 17 back all at once. But there's still an opportunity to make some things happen. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for showing a little love and tuning in. And I know the Tigers not doing great right now, but all is not lost. Stranger things that happened. I think it was like 2000, 2001. Southern and Jackson State played in the men's championship. Southern was up by like 20. JSU came back and won that game. So it's not over. You know, like I said, with the 3-point shot and the guys I know like CC and Henry, I know they can get hot at any moment. So if you know, you don't want to take your foot off the gas if you're Grambling. You don't want to feel like you got it, but you know the odds are more in your favor. Yeah, like I said, I don't count this team out, and like I said, I think PJ Henry is a guy that can really catch fire. You know, he coming off of a little injury from yesterday. So he's not where he typically would be, but I think that, you know, Coach Jones is gonna get on them. I know he's gonna get them right coming out of the locker room. And you don't get to win 3 tournaments in a row by quitting in games. So I don't think TSU. I don't think Grambling's out of the woods by no stretch of the imagination. But you know, if you're TSU, you would have liked it to have been a little bit easier for you. But right now it's not. So you have to find a way to make up the difference, and it can be done. But it's not looking too great right now. So let's take since we're sitting at the half, let's go ahead and take another look at the team stats right now. Right now TSU is they're shooting 39% from the field. Grambling's still shooting 56% from the field. Grambling has had one of the best shooting first halves in the whole tournament. The only team I think shot better in a half on the men's side was probably Bethune-Cookman in their first game against Southern, or Alabama A&M against Alcorn. Those two teams had great shooting halves. But right now, Grambling shooting 56% from the field, 63% from 3, 7 of 11, and 85% from the line. So they've gotten themselves going at the free throw line. They were 1 for 2 for a while, but they got themselves back going there. TSU is 9 of 23 from the field for 39%, 2 of 9 from 3 for 22%, and 4 of 8 from the line for 50% right now. Texas Southern 12 rebounds, Grambling 14. Grambling 3 offensive rebounds, TSU 5. 11 defensive rebounds for Grambling, 7 for Texas Southern. Grambling 11 assists. So I've said it a lot already on this game, but 11 assists in the first half is tremendous basketball. That's sharing the ball, and that's making the shots when they're presented to you. So 11 assists for Grambling, 4 for TSU. 5 steals for Grambling, 2 for Texas Southern. Grambling 3 blocks, Texas Southern 1. Only not a lot of turnovers. Nine total turnovers in this game, so it's not a sloppy game in that aspect. 6 turnover, TSU 3 for Grambling. Grambling has 9 points off of turnovers, TSU 4. Fast break points are even at 2 apiece. Grambling's scoring in the paint, 14-6 difference, and only 11 fouls in this game. So neither team, even though they shot a combined 15 free throws, nobody's in the bonus. Nobody went into the bonus in the first half. So a lot of shooting fouls, but not a lot of team fouls that racked up to shooting fouls of a bonus situations. Looking at the individual guys, right now, Kenny Hunter, 4 points for TSU. He has 1 rebound as well. He has 1 foul. Carter, no points. CC, 2 points. He's 1 of 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. Has 2 rebounds on the night. Henry, 3 points, 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. He has 1 rebound and 1 assist. Stroud, 12 points, 4 of 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line. He has 1 rebound. Ball, no points. Hayes, 2 points. Weisinger, 1 point. They only have 3 points on the bench right now. Grambling, Aku, 5 points. He had a hot start to get them going. He's 2 or 3 from the field with 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Really a good game for Aku. Quietly, he's a big man, but he's turning in a nice outing right now. Burnett has 6 points. He's 2 for 4 from 3, 2 of 5 from the field. He has 2 rebounds and 1 steal. Dozier, 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. He's sitting on 1 rebound, 1 assist as well, 1 turnover for him. Like I said earlier, Smith, 16 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, 5 of 5 from the line. This is an efficient game, man. He's only missed 1 shot. Well, he's only missed 2 shots anywhere in this game. 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. And right now, Tremichael Moden, no points. He's only taking 1 shot, but he has 6 assists. And if you're gonna trade points for anything, I trade points for assists. Selfishly, I'm sitting on Moden at 15.5 points and CC at 16.5. I don't think I'm gonna get there. So that's kind of not good for me right now. But Moden, 6 assists, does no turnovers. He's the only person with more than 1 foul for Grambling. He has 2. Stroud has 2 for Texas Southern. So nobody in mega foul trouble. Neither bench is really scoring a lot, but Grambling has 11 points, has 9 points off their bench. Johnson with 2, Stevenson with 5, and Munford with 2. So that's what we stack up right now. Pretty solid first half for Grambling. I don't think you can complain too much. It's really been a solid first half. But TSU can get back in this. Like I said, it's gonna be. I think you have to break this half up into 2 or 3 minute segments. If you can, every couple minutes, if you can chop a point or 2 off the lead, I think you're good. You cannot afford to trade buckets with this team, though. That I think that's the one Grambling will be more than happy to trade buckets with you, but you cannot get into a trading of buckets. You have to kind of press the issue. You have to make Grambling uncomfortable. You have to find a way to maybe put a little extra attention on Smith. But the problem with that is if you put any extra attention on that guy, then the guys who would normally hurt you are gonna be the guys to hurt you at that point. So I don't know really where you go in this kind of situation because you're kind of playing with fire one way or the other. So whatever game plan you go with, though, you have to find a way to make it work, and you have to kind of stick with it. So that's where we at, and that's why I'm glad I'm not a coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't get paid to make these tough decisions. I can sit here in the comfort of my own house and second guess all day long. So I would gladly second guess every opportunity. Every opportunity that I have, to be a sideline armchair coach. It's great, man, and no stress and no fans screaming at you. So I'm gonna sit in. I'm an armchair coach this game for the rest of the night. Definitely appreciate y'all sticking with me through this. Just wanted to do a little something different tonight. Didn't feel like doing a late night recap, so I wanted to go ahead and just watch the game, and cover the game a little bit. The one thing I will say is I love tournament play. I love tournaments in general. It don't necessarily have to be the SWAC tournament. It can be any kind of tournament. I for some reason I love tournaments. I always have. Even when I was little, I just love seeing tournaments. So I get really excited when SWAC tournament starts. I get kind of bummed out when it ends. But the NCAA tournament is right there. So being able to watch more basketball, you can't beat that. But Grambling women's team accepted a WNIT bid. I think Coach Simmons has done a great job with that team in her first season. Now 20 plus wins this season. A second place finish, and now they go into the WNIT. So the SWAC women's side will have 2 teams in the postseason again. So that's good. That's been happening pretty recently, and I would love to see more of a push from the SWAC in women's basketball. Not really a fan of the new scheduling setup, but if that helps get more interest in women's basketball, I don't have a problem with that. If it can get more fans to turn out, or if that means there will be more games televised because you're getting more primetime evening games, then I think it's a good look. I don't like that game. I don't think it should be done just to be done. So second half is just about here. So we're gonna get back on this horse, man, and see if Grambling can close out this game. As we come down to the final stretch. Grambling missed the early layup, but Dozier gets the offensive board, so he seems to be a little bit more aggressive coming out in the second half. Like I said, if he gets going, it's going to make it a little bit tougher if you're TSU. You don't want to have that guy get going. You can kind of live with some of the other guys going, but Dozier now is at the free throw line. He knocks down our free throws, and Grambling is now leading 42-24. Very, very, very important. Couple minutes here. Like I said, it's what 19 minutes left in this game, but every minute is very important if you're TSU. So you cannot allow Grambling to score very many more points. You have to start to get your stops, and you have to start to score. I mean, I know that sounds simple, but you have to kind of get it going, and getting back in the game at the free throw line can definitely help. As Stroud knocks down 2 free throws. I have a theory. I've probably shared it before, but I have a theory about SWAC referees. A lot of time when a team builds up a lead, they'll help the other team kind of get back into the game at the free throw line. So be mindful of more fouls called on Grambling in the second half, and see if that kind of plays into this game. But right now, Stroud is the only guy that's scoring for TSU. He has 14 points on the night. Grambling misses a shot, so this is a chance to come down and chip off another couple points off of this lead. It's a very big possession for TSU. They need to get a bucket here, and they need to be able to kind of extend that lead. Well, not extend that lead, but cut into that lead. Cannot afford to come up empty. CC with a big layup, his first points of the night. So that cuts into the Grambling lead, 42-28. Get a couple stops. Like I said, if you're TSU, you want to be able to chip away every couple minutes. You have to get some stops on the defensive end. Dozier picks up a foul, so things are kind of going a little bit. Things are kind of swaying a little bit. CC knocks down another free throw, so cut the lead down to 13 right now. This is the kind of start you want if you're TSU. You want to come out and probably about a 16-minute media timeout. You want to kind of have this game under 10 if you can. I think if you can do that, I think you're in a good spot. But then Aku comes down and gets a dunk, so now you are back trailing again. And like I said, you cannot miss free throws. TSU free throw shooting has not been great tonight. They're shooting shooting pretty poorly from the line right now. You cannot afford that. Moten gets him a layup. He's on the board now, and that's gonna be a problem if you TSU. Stroud is carrying this team right now. Somebody's gonna have to step up and help him. If you're Grambling, you'll live with Deion Stroud scoring 30 points because that means nobody else is scoring. So somebody has to take the reins and help him out. He did a good job of keeping them in the game early, but somebody's gonna have to help them close this lead. Anytime Grambling doesn't score, it's almost imperative that TSU scores. But they're not able to make it happen right now. Got an offensive board. That's very important. Being able to work the glass can give you another opportunity. But Carter's a guy who can step out and hit those threes. He's 0 for 3. Henry only has 1 3 on the night. It's just not really that right now. Moten gets a steal, and he's having a great all-around game. I think Smith is scoring. Dozier gets him a bucket. So he has 8 points on the night, coming on strong in the second half. So he's been able to get him a couple buckets and get going in the second half, and that's not good if you're TSU. So you gotta make it happen one way or the other. I mean, it's at a certain point you're gonna have to pull a plug. I mean, I'm not saying it's right now, but you have to kind of. It's starting to get to that point where if you don't make that run, it's not gonna come. And that's really a surprise for me. Stroud misses a 3. The shots are just not falling. And if it's one thing I've noticed, one trend I've noticed in the conference tournament, there's been a lot of, for the teams that lose, there's been a lot of teams that just shot poorly in their losses. Very few teams have, shot well or shot decently and lost. Most of these teams that have lost have finished the game shooting below 35% from the field, under 30% from 3. And right now, TSU is shooting 16% from the 3-point line and 39% from the field. So they're just not getting the shots to fall. And that's been the way this tournament has gone. If you look at a lot of these games, Southern shot poorly and they lost. Bethune-Cookman shot poorly and they lost. Bama State shot poorly in their loss. Alcorn shot poorly in the second half of their loss. So it goes without saying, if you can't make shots, you're not gonna win. But you typically see games where teams, both teams shoot 40%, one wins, one loses. But right now, you're not seeing that. Carter gets a layup for TSU. That's a big bucket. 48-33 is the lead as we get close to the media timeout, the 16-minute media timeout. I would have loved to seen the league get chipped away a little bit more, but you can only work with what you got. This is you know this is getting into the weeds now. So I think at about Gramblin's chunking up a lot of threes right now. I'm not really liking that. I would love them to continue to get that ball inside and draw fouls and get to the line. Smith, 18 points now, made him a layup. So he's working, like I said, he's working on a season high. He had his season high is 21 against Champion Christian, Champion Baptist or whatever, and 19 came against Alcorn. So he's working on a season high. TSU gets another offensive rebound. That's like their third offensive rebound of the night, well, of the half. So they've been pretty solid on the offensive boards. They just can't get it going. You know, like I said, they're shooting 40% from the field and 16% from the 3-point line. Those numbers are just not gonna get it. And that's just not, you know, that's the issue right now because everything else numerically is not that bad. Like I said, they're pretty solid in the rebounding margin right now. They lead that by 1. They have 8 turnovers, which, you know, compared to Gramblin's 3, that's still not a lot. It's not alarming, but just not being able to put the ball in the basket. 63% from the free throw line, 16% from the 3-point line, 40% from the field, while your opponent is shooting 52 from the field, 50 from 3. They've cooled down a lot. And 77 from the free throw line. So Grambling is just making their shots. The TSU isn't. Sometimes basketball is just that simple, and that right now is just that simple. Grambling is making shots. TSU is not making shots, and when that happens, you find yourself in games like this. So it's gonna be, you know, like I said, I'm gonna hang around for a little while longer, man. But if TSU don't really close this thing out, I'm gonna probably hop out of here. If it don't get a little bit closer, about a 10-minute mark, just to give y'all a heads up. I'm not, you know, TSU, you got to make a push, man, because the lights are getting dim. They not off, and the fat lady ain't nowhere near singing, but she walking up on stage. A limo then pulled up, and she's getting out the car. So you don't want that fat lady to start singing, man. It's almost there. But this is an odd game, though, when you really look at it. This is a battle of your second and third guys, you know what I'm saying? With your third and fourth guys, you know, with Smith as Grambling's third guy sitting there with 18 points. Stroud, probably TSU's third guy, or fourth, depending on how you look at Carter. He's sitting on 16, so they're the guys that's going at it. But Grambling's starting to get some points from other guys, and that helps a lot for them. And to me, I think that'll be what kind of stretches this lead out even more, because you don't want, you know, if you can get to a dub with your starters not scoring a lot, then I think you can't ask for much more than that. And this is one of those games that you're getting great production from your bench. If you're Grambling, you're getting great production from some of your other starters, and that makes it easier for your guys who typically will score. And you know, basketball is a game of runs. You know, that's the cliche, and it is true. It's a game of runs, but it has to start coming out of its timeout. You have to eventually you have to kind of get that ball in the hoop. If it doesn't happen, that's when you find yourself in a tight spot. So if TSU gonna go out and run, they have to do it, and they have to start making shots, and they haven't done that. And that's really hurting them right now. Stroud picks up a foul. That's his second on the night. Again, nobody in really bad foul trouble on either side yet. Grambling has 3 guys with 2 fouls. TSU has Stroud picks up his 3rd, so he's in a little bit of foul trouble. He has 3. Hunter has 2. So right now, those are the guys that are in who have multiple fouls on both sides. So all in all, it's been a pretty, as far as foul calls go, hasn't been a lot of fouls called. And I'm getting basketball on the brain, man. So Henry also, now he picks up a foul. That's his first. That's his second. So the fouls are kind of starting to stack up a little bit, but you got to try to find a way to make a push. You down 14. You're not out of the. You're not too deep in the woods yet. 14 points is still manageable with 14 minutes and 10 seconds. So I keep saying, if you can chop points off by each media break, then you find yourself in a good spot. But that's TSU's 3rd foul in a row, and that's not good. I think the fouls are starting to stack up, and pretty soon Grambling's going to be in a bonus. And if they can get to the line, they're going to put this thing away, being able to score from the free throw line. Aku misses free throw, knocks down his second. 51-36, Grambling up 15 with about 14 minutes left. So two more minutes before the media timeout. Let's see if TSU can make a run at this point. Another miss for TSU. That drops their 3-point percentage to 21. So they're those threes are just not going down for them tonight. Grambling misses a layup. TSU gets the ball. Every possession at this point is crucial. Big turnover for TSU. Dozier gets the steal. Every possession is valuable. Every possession is valuable. You can't afford to turn it over. Henry picks up another foul. That's his 3rd. So it's been a very, very quiet night for him tonight. 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Only 3 points. Like I said, CC 5 points. Those were the guys who needed to really be on point in this game, and they haven't done that. It's if you can't get your top guys to chip in points, you're relying on other guys, and eventually those guys are typically going to cool off because they're not used to carrying the load on the offensive side of the ball. So that's kind of where this game is going. Somebody has to start making some things happen. Dozier knocks down 2 free throws, puts Grambling up by 17 again. Dozier is in double figures now. He has 10 points. So Grambling has two players in double figures. And Aku has 8 points. Burnett is at 6. So they have opportunity to have 4 guys in double figures in a short period of time. I know this is one of those situations as a coach I would not want to be in. I don't really know what to tell my guys, man. It's like, other than make shots, what I mean? That's like, that goes without saying, make shots. But you have to the Wolfpack take the ACC. That's a big win for them. I want to see where they get seated. The ACC was not as strong as they typically are. They did have a couple teams come on strong. I think Pitt was pretty solid this season. Of course, Carolina. I'm not big on Duke, but big win for Carolina State, getting them an ACC title. So we will see. And in the ACC, well, they used to. I don't know. I'm not sure how they really look at it now, but in the ACC, they really used to value that tournament win more than a regular season win. So a regular season championship. So that's a big feather in the cap for Carolina State. Yeah, I mean you have to keep believing in what you have. You have to keep dancing with the guys that you brought. Smith picks up a technical foul. You have to keep dancing with the guys that brought you here. CC knocks down a couple free throws, so that can get you back in the game. Getting to the line, I think you have to attack the basket. Getting to the line, scoring when the clock is not moving. That's how you come back in a game like this. So I think the reaction is to want to knock down threes, to chip that down 3-2 every time, but you want to score as much as you can in as little time. So if you can attack the basket and get to the line, that helps. But putting the other team at the line, that hurts. And Smith now is over 20 points. That's a Division I season high. 2 more points and he sets his overall season high. I really love the game that Jordan Smith is playing today. When you look at championship games, it's always usually somebody who steps up who doesn't normally do it. And he's that guy, but that's a big layup for TSU. Cuts the lead down to 15 right before the media timeout. So you got, I would have loved to seen this be a little bit closer by the 12-minute timeout, but you can't really do anything about that right now. So you just got to kind of find a way to get yourself in this game, man. Coming out of this, once this timeout comes, coming out of this timeout, you have to make a push. You have to make a push. It's so many ways of saying the same thing over and over, but it's simple. Turnovers and fouls, you're putting yourself in bad positions. And right now you're killing yourself in that aspect. Turnovers and fouls, you're killing yourself. And that's our under 12 timeout. So we'll see. Like I said, I think if you can't cut this lead in half by the 8-minute timeout, or coming out of the 8-minute timeout, I don't want to say it's over, but it's not going to be pretty. And this has just not been. This is just, I think if you I always look at a game with a best case scenario and a worst case scenario. Now, I'm the type of person that probably always side with the worst case scenario. I'm when it comes to my team and things, I sometimes I lean a little bit more negative than I should. But this is a worst case scenario. This is one of those situations where I didn't even really look at this game being this way. I thought with these two teams, they played twice. Both games were close. The 2 times they played. So you kind of expect that, especially with a championship on the line and a team in TSU. Everybody are in SWAC, out of SWAC. I'm on different message boards, Twitter and the whole nine. HBCU people, non-HBCU people. Oh, it's hard out there for the Tigers tonight, man. It's hard out there for them third ward Tigers. But like in the words of Chatterbox, man, y'all need some Tiger power, man. Put y'all hands on the TV and get some Tiger power going, man. Y'all, I don't know if y'all putting that energy out there. If you want to get back in this game, man, you need some Tiger power. So put your hands on there and get them positive vibes going. But like I said, both games in this matchup were tight. Grambling, they won the last matchup against TSU by 3 points, and Texas Southern won the first matchup by 2. So this game is honestly, a surprise, really. As far as the margin of victory goes, you just never really expect a game to turn out like this in a championship. But last night's game was a really tougher affair for TSU than you probably expect. I'm gonna put my Reggie Thea suit on. I'm not making no excuses, but last night's game probably took a little bit more out of this team. And the turnaround, you play at 8:30 and turn around, play at 8:30 again. I'm not making no excuses, but this is a tight situation for TSU. So coming out of this timeout, you have to get some stops. And if you're gonna make a run, it starts now. And like I said, it starts with getting to the basket and drawing fouls. Smith has 3 fouls. He has 20 points, but he has 3 fouls. So, you want to attack him. You want to get him off the floor. Burnett has 2 fouls. Moden has 2 fouls. Those are guys you got to try to get yourself going at them in attack mode and maybe drawing a couple fouls from those guys and getting to the line and getting you some easy points from the free throw line. But Grambling is shooting free throws now. Moden misses his first free throw. So he's still not scoring a lot. But he's been doing it in other ways. And it's tough. Like I said, it's tough. Grambling misses 2 free throws. That's important. That's the first step you need in pushing back for Grambling not to score. But you have to score. I don't think you need threes. I know you take them, but I still think you get in the paint and get to the lane. Your shots are not falling. So if your shots are not falling, then you need to get in and score closer. Sometimes it sounds a lot simpler than it is, but there's a turnover for Grambling. TSU gets a steal. They have to score. I mean, it's almost like every possession you have to score now. You never want to look at it like that, but it's almost like every possession you have to score now because the time is getting low. You're almost at the halfway point of the game, and you're just the 3 ball is just not there for you. It's just not there for you. You're shooting 20% on the night. It's just not there for you. So you have to get in there and get some points some kind of way. I think they're living too much from outside right now. I mean, those shots might be there, but I think you still need to get inside and get to the lane, and get to the line. Like I said, you're gonna make this comeback. It starts at the free throw line. I've seen a lot of comebacks this season by teams against Southern, and it starts at the free throw line. You chip away the line with the clock not moving. That's the easiest way to come back. 2 points at a time with the clock not moving. Burnett makes a big jump shot that gives him 8 points on the night. Like I say, that hurts. That's puts them back up by 17, and it makes it a little bit tougher. And out of win probability goes up to 99.1%. 98.1. So I've seen games with teams with 99% probability to lose games. So it's not over. You don't want to throw in the towel. But eventually at some point you have to kind of be real. But I do want to say, man, Coach, why am I drawing a blank? Coach Mickey Joseph, man, you need to call Jalen Johnson, man. That guy is like a football player on the basketball court. I think you can help your basketball team. CC knocks down 2 free throws. That brings the lead back to 15. Like I said, you got to get to the line. When Johnson's on the court, you can expect the physicality of the game to go through the roof. That guy is like a bulldozer out there. TSU takes the timeout. Almost at the halfway point of the game. You're still down by 15. You haven't really done a lot to take away from this lead. These last couple of minutes for the under 8 timeout, you gotta go on a run. We've said it all night, but you gotta go out. You gotta go on a run, and time is running out. Time is running out. Yeah, that's my point. If you can get this thing down to 10 with 7 minutes or so, you're fine. But because I feel like if you cut it down to 10, then you're on a mini run. So if you can turn Grambling over and convert some of them buckets that you're missing, you're still in this game. Like I said, you're down 17. I mean, you're down 15, but you're not even shooting well. So it's not. You're down 7. You're down 15, and you're shooting 38% from the field, 18% from 3. That's not that bad when you look at how your shots are. A team shooting like that, you're typically gonna find yourself down 20 to 25 points. So if they can if they can start to knock down those shots and turn some things around, you still got an opportunity. 10 minutes is a lot of time in basketball. Strange, we've seen it. We've all seen it. So you don't want to, you don't want to throw in the towel, but you have to find a way to get somebody going. Somebody has to kind of step up to the plate. Like I don't know y'all remember any old memes, but they used that Greg Jennings Madden meme, where Greg Jennings scored the touchdown on Madden with a broken leg. The guy was like, he put the team on his back. Somebody got to put TSU on their back, man, and carry them. Whether win or loss, somebody got to step up. Somebody gonna have to be the guy to thrust themselves into action. Right now, Stroud leads TSU with 16 points. CC is at 9. He's slowly getting going, and Smith leads Grambling with 20, and Dozier is at 10. So there's been a couple surprise performances, but the guys who I expected to be the factors in this game just have not really done it. And that's a little bit of a surprise, but that you kind of get that in a tournament. Sometimes you just never know. So this coming out of this timeout is going to be very, very important for TSU to start to score. You can't put Grambling at the line no more, and you have to avoid falling in love with shooting a ton of threes. Grambling misses a shot coming out the timeout. That's important. Stroud gets another rebound. That's his 5th on the night. He leads the team in that category as well. He has 3 fouls, so I'm really cautious with him. Henry has 3 fouls too, so you want to kind of be careful with those guys getting a 4th foul. And that was another missed 3. That's just not gonna do it for you. I don't know any. There's no nice way to say it, man. If you keep chunking up threes and missing them, you're running the risk of getting this game out of hand. So Grambling will gladly get that up. You're not making those shots. They'll gladly get that up to you, and that's a surefire way to find yourself in a 20-point hole if you're not careful. There's another missed 3 for TSU. I just feel like you're shooting too many threes. I know, like I said, I know threes can help, but you kind of pulling it a little bit too much. But Grambling hasn't scored really in a while. So the opportunity for you to get some points is there. You just gotta make the shots, because Grambling, they're not. I mean, a minute is not a long time, but Grambling hasn't scored in almost 2 minutes. So that's when you need to make your run. When the other team isn't scoring, that's when you need to make a run. And right now, you can't really afford to go bucket for bucket with them. As CC gets his 10th point of the night, or his 9th point of the night, he hits a layup that gives him 11 points. TSU gets a steal. This is where you need to make that push. Grambling is they're kind of in a mini drought. Like I said, they're working on 2 minutes of scoreless ball. This is where you make your run. They haven't scored. You need to score. And like I said, the temptation to just pull threes is there, but I think you need to leave that alone. And like we said a few minutes ago, you get this thing to 10 or lower by 7 minutes, you're in damn good shape. So to me, I think that's where you at right now. I think if you can cut this thing down to 10, then you're in good shape. We definitely we getting action right now. It's starting to kind of get a little interesting if you can kind of make some things happen. Moden picks up another foul. That's important. You can get that guy in foul trouble. That helps you, because I mean he hasn't really been scoring. but he's doing other things for Grambling, which is kind of what he does from time to time. You know, sometimes he doesn't really score a lot, but he is a guy that can do a lot of other things. So you can get him in foul trouble. That kind of changes the approach of this thing, you know. And now, like I said, you're looking at a 13-point lead, and if you can get this thing to 10, it's gonna tighten things up a little bit. You're gonna kind of challenge Grambling because they haven't really put their foot on TSU and stomped them out. So you're letting this team hang around. If you're Grambling, you kind of, you know, you're feeling good because you're still in control, but that 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 urge to kind of, I don't want to say coast, but that urge to kind of feel like you got it is there, and I think they need to withstand this. Um, TSU is on the verge of making a big push, and like I said, Grambling is working on 2+ minutes of not scoring, so that's a recipe for a comeback. The team with the lead hits a drought. The other team scores some points. Grambling starting to get some foul trouble, so they have two guys with three fouls. And, you know, you want to kind of, you know, put them on the bench and rest them, or, you know, maybe trust them to play with 3 fouls. But the opportunity is there because, like I said, Grambling's working on 2+ minutes of scoreless ball. So the opportunity to make that push is there. And that then quick look at the stats. Grambling has cooled off shooting. They're shooting 48% from the field, 43% from 3. They were shooting over 70% from the 3-point line and over 50% from the field. So they kind of cooled off a little bit. TSU's kind of been the same all game. 39.5% from the field, 17% from the line, from the 3-point line. So it's been kind of status quo for TSU. Grambling, like I said, you know, you're never gonna shoot that hot the whole game, and sometimes that can be, you know, sometimes that can be be a little fool's gold. But they have to find a way to withstand this little mini drought that they went through. So it's important for both teams. There's still a lot of basketball left. That's still a great opportunity for TSU to make something happen. But yeah, all right, y'all, it's getting interesting. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, like I say, a situation like that can turn a game around. TSU down by 12. Craig make 2 free throws. Moden making free throw. Um, we got a little bit of an interesting game, man. Could have had a double flagrant situation, but didn't. Um, right now, 59-46. Moden makes 2 free throws. been a lot of whistles in the second half though. Putting a little pressure on Grambling can help too. You can get them a little bit uncomfortable. That's a big miss right there for Grambling. But offensive board. Right now, Grambling is doing a couple of those little things that it takes. It look like we got a review coming. Now we hit the point in SWAC basketball where the game gets stretched out. There's gonna be a ton of reviews and all that kind of stuff down the stretch. I wonder if they operate on a pay by time system because they always find a way to make these games last a little bit longer. But Dozier picks up a foul. That's his second on the night. Like I said, Moden has 3, Smith has 3, and Stroud and Henry have 3 for TSU. So both teams have 2 people with 3 fouls. Both teams have one starter. Grambling has 2 starters with 2 fouls. TSU has 1. So foul trouble is gonna start to become important at this point. The game is getting a little chippy now, man. I think you're starting to see everybody start to realize what's on the line, and TSU is making a little push. I think Grambling kind of got caught a little bit, and TSU is finally kind of putting some things together. If they can continue to do this, these last 8, a little bit less than 8.5 minutes is gonna be very interesting. Still got time to make that little push. If you can get this thing on the 10, man, we got a whole other ball game. These kind of games, sometimes that's why I don't like playing with a big league because you can easily kind of doze off, or things could easily get out of your control. And right now, TSU is outscoring Grambling by 5 in the second half, 22-17. TSU only scored 24 points in the first half, so they're gonna score more points this half than they did in the first. You shave 5 points off the lead at this point. So don't get me wrong, I don't ever want to close I don't ever want a close win, but I just seen so many double-digit leads go away. I think I have PTSD when it comes to double-digit leads sometimes. It's a very big call here. This can really swing this game. So we got another situation with 2 free throws for each team, man. This is crazy. I don't know about that one. That's almost SWAC. That's almost SWAC officiating right there. What are they doing? I think referees have lost control of this game. I think that they got caught up. Two big missed free throws by Dozier. That's crucial. That's crucial. Two free throws made. We got a game. We got a 10-point game. That little drought Grambling went on, man. That's starting to come back and bite them. Single digits by 7 minutes, and we got us a ball game. It's a lot of time left. This game has gotten crazy in the last 3-4 minutes. This game has really turned on its head, man. I think TSU they found themselves back. Like I said, sometimes it just takes free throws, man. You free throws get you back in the game quicker than anything else. You're scoring with no clock moving. Groundland missed 2 free throws. They could have went up 14. Missed them both. TSU made theirs. Now we sitting at a 10-point game. TSU starting to get a little bit of momentum. They're starting to feel a little bit better about themselves. And now we looking at a really a game that's getting a little bit tighter than it looked like it was gonna be. So if you're somebody who kind of was about to turn it off like I was, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little close to being like, okay, I see where it's going, but you never wanna let it fully go, man, because you don't want to miss out on nothing. 2 shots in the ball, got the ball. Let's see what TSU do. It's a big turnover right there. You got the scope coming out of that timeout. Another foul. Oh, he can, man. I love his game, man. I think he's a guy that he's crafty with the ball. He just looks like he's going one way, then he breaks you down and comes back the other way. And he's a great guy. He finishes well. It's not going that way for him now, but Groundland missed another free throw. Missed free throws makes this thing more interesting than it probably need to be. That's four. That's 4 missed free throws by Dozier in the. Big layup by Burnett. That's a big bucket for Grambling. He can give you he's been giving you solid minutes, but I think this is one of those games where he kind of a little bit out of his depth. But that's a big bucket by CC. Cut this thing down to 9 with 7 minutes left. 9-point game. We got us a ball game. That was that run that we was looking for, and TSU got that run, but now it's becoming a little bit more of a game. But Grambling is still kind of keeping it steady. They haven't really fully cracked yet, so they putting up a better fight to keep this lead going. But right now TSU is outscoring Grambling by 6 points in the second half. So we in the crunch time now, coming up under 7 minutes. Let's see what happens. Back down to 9. Big basket by Hunter. Big offensive rebound and score. That's what you have to do. This thing is getting a little interesting now. Now we coming into the crunch time. That's Hunter's third foul. Hey, cool. Back at the line. He's over. He's at 11 points. Burnett at 10 for Grambling. Dozier at 10 for Grambling. Smith at 20. So Grambling 4 guys in double figures. Right now CC has 14 for TSU. Stroud has 16. So this is gonna be an interesting finish. Hunter with another bucket. He's stepping up a little bit. He has 8 points on the night. Good look by Moten to Stevenson. Big bucket for Grambling. Back up by 11. 7 assists for Moten on the night. Been dropping dimes. That 3 ball just has not been TSU's friend tonight. You got to get those stops, but not getting them. And Grambling been able to take this punch that TSU threw at him. Moten gets him a bucket. Back up by 13. Shots just not there. Yeah, it's getting close, man. It's getting close to that time. This is like this is your last push. We're going into the final media timeout of the night at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Second half, TSU trails Grambling 68-15. Grambling working on their first trip to the NCAA tournament. TSU still trying to make a little push, but it's do or die now. It's do or die now. It's almost time to warm up the buses. Just couldn't, like I said, just couldn't get the shots to fall when you needed them, man. It's just one of them kind of nights. Quick look at the stats where we stand at this point in the game. Grambling's cooled off. Like I said, they cooled off like on their shooting tonight. Second half, their shots did not fall like the first half, but I think they had a big enough lead to withstand that. But right now, TSU shooting 39% from the field, only 20% from three, and 78% from the line. Grambling 50% from the field, and 38% from three, and 63% from the free throw line. You know, I mean, like I said, I said it. You know, with this whole tournament, you know, it's tough. You know, you playing 3 games in 3 days. You know, Grambling had the opportunity to get that off day in between, and they played early and now they play late. But it's I'm not regardless of who plays when, I'm not a fan of 8:30 games. I think you move up, maybe you move up the games an hour or so. I know you got to account for overtime and all that stuff, but I 7:30 starts. I think that's great. These games run a little long in the SWAC for 8:30 starts. I think I think it's one of them things that they might need to look at, but I don't fault Grambling for that. They earn every advantage that they got. I think when you're the number 1 seed, you should have, especially in a 1 bid league, I think as the number 1 team, you should have as many advantages as you could get, because we need to set our best teams. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that because that's not their team, but a lot of times, you done been through the battle of the season. You need to be rewarded for it. And since we took away the home court in the first round, which I think they probably should bring back, that's where you stand. But CC gets a shot for TSU, cuts this thing back down to 10. And the only bad thing about this game, man, I'm gonna miss my parlay, man. Molden gets a 3. He got 8. Yeah, I mean, this is what you want. You want your top teams to win, and you want them to be tested and win. But they both won the regular season, Grambling and JSU, and they both then came out on top in the tournament. Big block by Aku. That guy doesn't get any attention for Grambling, but Aku's a solid guy inside, man. He doesn't do a lot of offensive work, but big bucket by CC. It's almost too little, too late. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if the CBI called them. I like I said earlier, man. I wish the NIT didn't become this power league second tournament, which makes no sense. They trying to push for ratings, and yeah, but a lot of those teams not going to NIT this season, so I think that was a big miss on their part. Um, I would love to see TSU get another opportunity to play some more ball this season. So maybe the CBI call them. We'll see. But I definitely want to thank y'all, man, for sticking through this, man. Checking out this whole thing. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, a guy like Mortal, man, I think he could have. I think he could have really helped in a game like this. You need that guy, that extra guy out there, man. I think your guard play wasn't super great tonight. That definitely was a big factor in this game. Gotta gotta try to still make gotta still try to make a push. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's 2 minutes left, but we've seen crazier things happen, man. You don't ever want to totally write it off, but it's getting late. But I think Grambling showed great composure, not letting this game get away from them. Because they had a point where they were it was kind of a little dicey as far as them, keeping the lead. But I thought they did a good job of maintaining, because a lot of times teams in our conference, when they start to feel that heat, even though they're ahead, when they start to feel that heat, they start to fade a little bit. Under 2 minutes. Another offensive rebound for Grambling. They've been coming up with those big plays when they need them. Back to the review table. Sometimes I think the SWAC should have never discovered reviews. But I do want to tell y'all, you watch these coaches with these reviews, because I think a lot of times these coaches using these reviews as extra timeouts too. So y'all keep an eye out on that. That's something I noticed in a couple games, that coaches, not in this situation, but I've seen coaches use those reviews to get themselves extra timeouts. So yeah, they know the SWAC take forever with reviews, so that's an extra timeout. You keep yours in your pocket. That's just about gonna put a wrap on this thing. Minute and a half left. This wasn't a night for TSU. Strong game for Grambling. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Twitter. Definitely appreciate y'all for checking it out. Shout out to the YouTube family, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Um, lead back down to 9. So, you never know. You never know. But one thing I will say about these late games, man, for somebody like me, man, this is way past my bedtime. 4 nights in a row, man. I'm paying for it every morning. I don't like these late games. Y'all make sure y'all catch me tomorrow. We're gonna have our tournament recap tomorrow. It's gonna probably drop tomorrow afternoon sometime. I'm also gonna have a tournament recap and NCAA tournament preview dropping on Busting Brackets probably on Monday. And then I'll have a SWAC talk show coming on Monday as well with a NCAA tournament preview. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. And like I say, sometimes it's all about your positioning and your seeding. A couple of those games that you let go earlier in the season, they come back to bite you. But it also had to depend on who you're playing. And honestly, TSU drew a couple of tough opponents. A&M was a lot tougher than their record. And obviously, Grambling's the number 1 team. And I've seen a lot of people say Grambling was a fraudulent number 1, and I never believe that. I don't see how anybody made that decision off of that Bama State game at the end of the season. But I saw it a lot, and I'm nowhere near a Grambling fan, but I felt like that was just not right. Grambling's a great team, man. And if you think they was fraudulent because they lost to Bama State at the end of the season when they already had the conference title wrapped up, I don't know what else to tell you. But it was a really solid effort for Grambling. They took the punch in the second half. They could have folded, but TSU never got enough big shots to get themselves back in it. And Grambling did what they had to do, and now they find themselves just seconds away from a championship. I mean, it took them long enough, right, y'all? They finally can join us, join everybody in the NCAA tournament, and hopefully they can join the NCAA tournament win club. It was just a little too late on the scoring, man. But I thought it was a great second half effort for TSU. I mean, it was a total reversal of fortune. Only scored 24 points in the first half, scored 42 in the second. So they did a good job of getting themselves back into it, but it just was not enough. Burnett knocks down another couple free throws. That's gonna just about do it for us, y'all. This thing is pretty much over. All on ground with 9 seconds, and still can't make the free throw. Yeah, you know what I mean? Streaks don't, streaks are made to be broken, and winning three in a row is, winning three in a row is nothing to shake your head at. And, you know what I mean? Obviously, you would like to win four, but, hey, at some point, somebody else got to win this thing. So, why not the best team in the league? So, salute the Groundling for taking care of business. I mean, because SWAC tournament is always crazy, but salute the Groundling for making it happen and picking up a 75-66 victory over TSU. I'm going to run through the final stats real quick, man, then I'm going to get up out of here because, like I said, I'm about to crash out. I think this is the longest stream I've ever done. So, man, y'all thank you for rocking with me, man. I don't know how many of these I can do. I ain't got the stamina for them, but I thank y'all for rocking with me from start to finish. I definitely appreciate y'all, but TSU finishes the night shooting 42%, 23 of 54 from the field, 4 of 22 from the three-point line for 18%, 16 of 22 from the free throw line for 72%. Yeah, hey, y'all got it now. Y'all feel how the rest of us feel. Yeah, y'all see how the rest of us feel not being able to cut down nets at the end of the tournament. Groundling 23 of 47 from the field for 48%. And 8 of 19 from three for 42%, 21 of 31 from the line for 67%, 30 rebounds for Grambling, 29 for TSU, 7 assists for TSU, 16 for Grambling, 9 steals for Grambling, 5 for TSU, 4 blocks for the G-Men, 1 for the Tigers. Both teams, 11 turnovers, 17 points off a turnover for TSU, 16 for Grambling, 2 fast break points for TSU, 6 for Grambling, points in the paint, 26 for TSU, 28 for Grambling, 25 for TSU, 18 for Grambling. So pretty even game statistically, most points. The difference in this game was not being able to make shots early for TSU. That put them in a big hole. But looking at the box score really quick before we get up out of here. Jordan Smith finishes the night for Grambling with 20 points to lead them. Also, Burnett 14, Aku 12, and Dozier with 10. Moden finished with 8 points and 7 assists. CC led TSU with 21 points, and Stroud had 16 on the night. Stroud also had 5 rebounds to lead the team. And that's going to do it for us, man. This was a great tournament. I thank y'all for tuning in with me and riding this wave on out for the night. But I'm about to get on up out of here, man. I'm about to go get me some rest and be back up to record my next show for y'all. And that will drop tomorrow afternoon. So with that being said, man, I'm your tour guide around the SWAC. And I thank y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. And if you haven't done it so already, man, y'all hit the subscribe button. And we'll catch y'all on a rebound, man. Y'all have a good night. And salute the Grambling. Congratulations. Tigers making their first NCAA tournament. And salute the JSU women's basketball team for making it back to the NCAA tournament. It's a Tiger Fest for the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. So with that being said, man, I'm your tour guide signing out. And y'all stay up, and I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.